Ooh.
So I guess you could say that intro clip of Jose Altuve was pretty crazy. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say nuts. I'm not doing that again. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. You guys have been crushing it with support lately, so I wanted to start off today's video by saying shout out to all of you, the viewers. We have so much to talk about. Aaron Boone got ejected yesterday. He was hot because Aaron Judge, his superstar, was getting hosed by the umpire. And speaking of umpires, maybe the most awkward player-umpire exchange in the history of baseball happened between Madison Bumgarner, and I don't even know the dude's name, but he really abused his power yesterday. And then speaking of power, one dude had 8 RBIs in a single game yesterday. It was in the Reds game, and spoiler, it was not a Reds hitter. Now, you guys know I never plug anything aside from SeatGeek, but today I'm going to plug myself because there's a new feature on YouTube called Super Thanks. A lot of you guys have been asking, hey Fuzzy, how can I support the channel aside from just watching? Well, if you want to throw your boy Fuzzy $1, $5, all you have to do is click on that Super Thanks. We have 17 games to recap. It's not easy to make these videos, so if you ever wanted to help the channel, super easy way to do that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the games. Remember, we have 17 games to recap, so buckle in. Today is going to be one of the longer videos of the year. The Padres and the Guardians, we have a doubleheader. It was overcast and rainy in Cleveland, but it was all sunshine at the ballpark, and that's because Mike Clevenger's nickname is Sunshine. So he returns from injury, and of course it lined up that he will be facing his former team, the Cleveland, at the time it was the Indians, and now the Guardians. So again, the first time that he has played, and it's against his former team. Eric Hosmer has been Jesus Christ himself to begin 2022. He singles in Jake Cronenworth in the first, and then Manny Machado hits a laser beam 2-run home run after Josh Naylor of the Guardians dropped the ball at first, so it would have been a solo shot, and the end of this game would have been different, but that's a 2-run home run. Clev actually looked pretty good. He struck out a few before Steven Kwan got some payback in the third, and then Cleveland, along with Josh Naylor, make up for the error, and they tie it at 3 runs apiece. Those were all given to Mike Clevenger, unfortunately. The usually dominant Trevor Stephan got put in a blender by the Padres offense, and De Los Santos could not put out the fire. Taylor Rogers comes in with a 1-run lead, and he converts his 10th save of the season. Taylor Rogers has always destroyed Cleveland, so that was not a surprise. So again, that error came back to haunt Cleveland. And in game number 2, I was at the gym during this game, so I put my phone away in disgust after I saw it was a 3-0 ball game. And this all came off of former Padre Cal Quantrill, and we were up against Mackenzie Gore. He only allowed 1 run in nearly 6 innings. The kid has a 1.17 ERA in 21 innings. He is going to be nasty for the next decade, maybe 2 decades. Well, not 2 decades. That's a lot of baseball. Ernie Clement has an RBI double. That one got me excited, only to have my heart ripped out again by another San Diego rally to put the game out of reach. Wait, okay, so those 2 singles make it a 5-4 ball game, and Josh Naylor comes up clutch again. So we head to extra innings where Nick Salen induces a double play in the 10th, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, it was Star Wars Day, I had to make that reference. Even Quan Soto, whatever you want to call him, he wins it as Owen Miller flies around the bases, and the Guardians win 6-5 against a really good San Diego team. So that was a close series. Again, do not write off Cleveland. They're pretty solid. The Tigers and the Pirates, the other doubleheader from yesterday, Javi showed off the wizardry in the 3rd, and then again in the 4th. Just on this one, he can't really help out because he's nowhere near it. Ben Gamble shoots the gap, knocking in 2 to deflate Comerica, but then Detroit, they exercise deep breathing. They kind of relax a little bit. They're not going to get too worried, and they get some help from 2 different Pirates errors, and this was really one of the luckier wins of the season because they do not win this game without the help of the pitiful Pirates defense. Gregory Soto comes in and saves it. Now in game number 2, Roberto Perez hit one back to Cleveland. Sheesh, I didn't know Roberto had this kind of pop. Jose Quintana was cruising through 5 but ran into some trouble in the 5th. The Pirates, they got to show some dog, and they did that. The Tigers returned the favor. They had some bad defense of their own. They steal the lead back, talking about the Pirates in the 7th, and they're not done there. They break out for 3 more in the 9th. Gamble had a huge game. He collects RBI number 10, and Vogie has also been very impressive. 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and a nearly 155 OPS plus. All right, let's talk about the Rockies and the Nationals real quick because it's an easy game to recap. The Nationals found themselves up early, but Jose Iglesias had other plans about who's going to win this game. So that's 2, and then the man with 2 first names wanted in on the action as well. Connor Joe has 28 extra base hits and 45 RBIs in his last 85 games. That's really good. Daniel Bard, the journeyman who missed 2014 and 2019 with injury, closes it out. He has 7 saves and a 2 ERA on the season. Look at the Rockies go. They're tied with the Giants at 14 and 10, doing this really without Chris Bryant. The Dodgers and the Giants, speaking of the Giants, I'm going to show this Brandon Crawford home run because that's the only good thing that happened for Giants fans. fans. Trade Turner, the RBI machine, was back at it, and Will Smith's RBI single makes it 4 consecutive base runners getting on for the Dodgers. Tony Gonzalez might be the most underappreciated / underrated pitcher in Major League Baseball. 5 strikeouts, 1 earned run in 5 innings. His season ERA is now 1.64, and here comes Mookie. Please be heating up. Please be heating up. I need another breakout season offensively from Mookie. So Lux and Betts, they add a few more later on, and then Freddie laces a triple down the line. He turns on the Jets, and again, that's a 2-run 3-bagger. Muncy, he doesn't want to do all of that work, though. He wants to have a nice, relaxing time. A 2-run bomb so he can kind of coast, and the Dodgers have taken the first 2 games against the Giants to start the year. The Diamondbacks and the Marlins. This is where Madison Bumgarner, let's just talk about the game, all right? So John Birdie connects on a home run, and then Mad Bum, as he was walking off the bump, had his hand checked by the umpire, but it wasn't a normal check. The umpire was staring straight into Madison Bumgarner's eyes / soul, and it was really weird, just a complete abuse of power. And in my opinion, again, this is just me trying to piece the puzzle together. Madison Bumgarner said something like, "Take your effing time," something along those lines. So the umpire said, "You're done." Really strange. I don't know how umpires are able to get away with this stuff. He should be fined, or at least have a talking to, maybe miss a few games. Anyways, Miami goes on to score a few more to kind of twist the knife, but Arizona rips the knife back out. They kind of put a band-aid on as Alcantara laces a 2-run triple. Perdomo ties it up. And Dalton Varsho, this kid is so cool. I love Dalton Varsho because he's a catcher with center fielder speed. He has a 2-run home run. Arizona ends up with 6 runs after 6, and the Marlins fight back again. Jazz Chisholm, the most exciting player in baseball right now. You can throw in a few other players, but right now, Jazz Chisholm is playing with the fire that we haven't really seen over the course of the last few years of baseball. Marlins fans were feeling good, and they're probably not anymore because Pavin Smith delivers in the clutch. His 2-run bomb gives him 11 RBIs, 3 home runs, and a nearly 140 OPS plus. Those are really good numbers. Ian Kennedy, the 47-year-old phenom, dials it in, and he shuts it down for his 3rd save. The Cardinals and the Royals, super easy game. The Royals got smacked and punched in the face. Nolan Arenado wants his dang MVP, or he just wants to close the door on that dumb Coors Field argument. That's a 3-run tater, thank you very much. Tyler O'Neill is trying to step up as well. Triples home, Yippies, I don't know how to say his last name. He just got called up. Arenado and O'Neill weren't done there as Nolan shoots it to center to complete a 5 RBI day, 8 doubles, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs, and a 2.1 WAR already. Arenado is playing lights out right now. Waino was vintage Adam Wainwright. 7 shutout innings, only 2 Royals base runners got on. And remember how I said O'Neill wasn't done? There you go. 17 RBIs, which is great, but he has a paltry 276 on base percentage, so hopefully he can start hitting for more power and taking more walks, which isn't really his game, but maybe he can change, who knows. So that W gives Waino and Yachty 202 team wins, which ties the most ever by a battery mate. The Cardinals are 14-10, and they've outscored opponents by 24 runs. Look at that. The Brewers and the Reds, listen, I feel terrible, so let's try and get this game over with because I just feel bad for Reds fans. So Colton Wong gets the party started, then Tellez, he adds to it in grand fashion. Rowdy gets rowdy again in the 6th, so he cranks a 431-foot moonshot to secure a 6 RBI day. But more on him a little bit later, which again doesn't make sense because a 6 RBI day is already insane. Yelich singles, McCutchen doubles, and I mean, it's 13-3, so throw in the towel, please. Okay, keeps getting worse, and here comes Tellez looking for his 3rd home run. He just misses his 2nd grand slam of the day. He settles for the Brewer record of 8 RBIs in a single game, and he has been such a good pickup for the Brewers as Milwaukee now is 17-8. And I guess some good news, some lighthearted news. 43 years ago today, Pete Rose had his 3,000 hit. He went on to have over 4,000, so I wanted to try and look at this situation half full for Reds fans. I don't know if that helped, but there you go. The Braves were looking for some payback after they got swept in a doubleheader, but Ian Happ was facing Siler McGill, so it's not going to be easy. Ian Anderson was very good, not allowing a run in the first 5 frames, and he got some help from Heredia to bring back a home run. This was an insane catch. McGill, his wheels fall off in the 6th. He loads the bases and has to get taken out, where Adam Ottavino legitimately looked terrible. I mean, even though he's nasty with his spin rate and stuff, he was not able to locate, and he was very hittable. Swanson and Ronald both single home a few, and Olsen's RBI groundout caps a huge 7-run punch to the gut inning. Heredia not only showed off the defense, but he allows his stick to do the talking as well. A 2-run home run. The Mets have a full-blown bullpen issue right now, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor May is out. Adam Ottavino stinks. Trevor Williams wasn't good. Yeah, I know Joely Rodriguez has been solid solid, but Miguel Castro, they might be missing him. Miguel Castro went over to the Yankees. Let's talk about the Yankees real quick because Matt Chapman goes 420 feet. I have no idea where I've been, but that's home run number 5. He also has 14 RBIs, so he's been very productive, but just like Tyler O'Neill, he needs to get on base a little bit more often. My friend Joey Gallo returns from a groin injury and decided, you know what? I'm going to go and hit this ball 417 feet the other way. And that was all that the Yankees could get off Yusei Kikuchi. Now, before we talk about Yusei, Vladdy gives his pitcher the lead back. Yusei struck out 7 on 3 hits allowed, and things got a little bit spicy where Judge was not happy with the umpire zone, and Boone saves the day, comes in, gets ejected himself, saving Aaron Judge, but it wasn't enough as the Blue Jays bullpen was really good. They put the Yankees lineup in a straitjacket, 0 hits until the 9th, where Romano comes in, gets in a little bit of trouble, but Vladdy saves the day on a sick pick. So the Yankees' 11-game winning streak comes to an end, but this series for the rest of the year is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Max Stassi and Anthony Rendon answers Boston's attack. They make it a 3-3 ball game going into the 8th, where Xander Bogaerts comes in clutch. Aaron Loup had only given up 2 hits the entire season, so that home run is impressive. Diekman loads the bases, and lefty Walsh ruins his night. Jake Diekman now has 7 blown saves already, and that's why Boston fans are upset because the awful bullpen is just tossing game after game. Anyways, the AL Player of the Week, Taylor Ward, drops the bat on this one. That one goes 425 feet, and Rendon plates the GOAT Mike Trout on a loud double. And speaking of loud, Jared Walsh goes the other way, a 3-run Oppo Taco, and in the blink of an eye between the 9th and the 10th, the Angels score a lot of runs. We'll just leave it at that. They're 16-10. Another AL West team that is looking really good. The Astros are looking for a sweep, and that is looking likely because Yuli brings home his buddy Bregman. And speaking of Bregman, he singles home Brantley after Michael played it to himself. Alex then goes on to have an RBI sac fly in the 4th and then an RBI double in the 6th. And this was all for JV Justin Verlander, who ages like fine wine. Shout out to Mark. The 2-time Cy Young threw 6 shutouts, allowed a 2-run bomb to Suarez though, so that was his only hiccup. But in 32 innings, Justin has a 1.93 ERA, so it looks like he is getting better after Tommy John, and players have reported that they throw harder after TMJ, so there you go. The Rays and the A's, super easy game. Frankie versus Kluber. Both pitchers were the definition of filthy. They don't allow a single run. Kluber has a 2.36 ERA after the 7 strikeout shutout performance, and Montas added to his trade value 7 shutout innings. Just unfortunately, they were both nasty, so they couldn't get run support. And then we see Zach Jackson of the Oakland A's hand deliver a W to the Rays lineup as Margot singles home Randy and Brett Phillips, and then Lowe gets an RBI on a balk. So this is getting wild again. Both starters in this game throw 7 scoreless. I don't know if it's the dead baseballs. The hitters suck. The pitchers are so much better this year, but I have never seen so many scoreless shutouts from these starters. So Martin Perez, 7 shutout. Zach Wheeler, nearly 8 shutout innings. And then the bullpen comes in and follows up with a few blank frames as well. So there you go. Even bullpen guys are doing solid in this one. So we need free baseball where Brad Miller bloops one in shallow right to really make his former team not feel that great, scoring 2 in the process, and Joe Barlow converts his 3rd save. The Rangers have won 4 in a row. Good for them. Cedric Diggory, Cedric Mullins, that's his 3rd home run, and Baltimore continues to ambush the Twins pitching staff. Well, really just Dylan Bundy, and Dylan Bundy's facing his former team. So it's 4-0, and Ramon Urias finally is able to hit one over everyone. He has been one of the more unluckier players in baseball this year, and the Twins actually answered back with 4 runs of their own, but the Orioles were up for the challenge. They immediately answered with 3 runs of their own, so all 13 total runs in this game were scored in just 2 frames. Dylan Bundy was torched in his 2nd consecutive start, which sucks because I thought that he was going to be breaking out again. He was facing his former team, and he got lit up. Jose, yeah, that's a home run. And Nico, okay, he rips one off of Lucas Giolito. So the Cubs and the White Sox are facing off, I think, in the final game of this series. And the nightmare continues for Lucas Giolito as Patrick Wisdom barrels this one up. But good on Lucas. He stays in the game, and he actually diced up the Cubs for the rest of it. Lurie Garcia barely squeaks this one out, and Gavin Sheets uses that wild uppercut, violent swing to tie it up. 3 runs apiece in the 4th. AJ Pollock then delivers on a rage-inducing, controller-throwing, shallow single, and that drives in a run, and Giolito stays in for 10 strikeouts. He is in line for the W. If Liam Hendricks can come in, grab the save, and hold the lead, and that's exactly what he does. Liam Hendricks has been pretty good over the last 2 weeks, but that is going to do it for today's recap. I told you to buckle in. 17 games I think we talked about, so again, if you appreciated all of the effort in today's video, leave me a little super thanks, the brand new feature. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and enjoy the web gems.
Over the top delivery, and Correa might have cracked his bat there. Out to short center field, and Mateo will track it down. Try to double him up at first. He will! Mateo!
First 2 games. Rojas a fly ball. Smith gun after it. Smith has it! Makes the running catch.
Well, this ball is tailing away from Pavin Smith. He gets a nice beat on it.
Pulls that one, and it's caught by Rhys Hoskins. With a smile on his face, he looks at his former teammate.
Well, we've seen this from Brad. You know, he can hit a fastball with the best of them, and that's got to feel good for Rhys, though, to rob your.
In on his hands, great diving stop by Lindor, and he throws low, and Alonso picks it out. Vance in the shift, and Lindor in just the right.